Alrighty, guys, I am back. Welcome. So, my previous video was an unboxing of the Higher Perspective Oracle, and now I want to do a little flip through of a book on runes. And I wanted to show you my runes that I've made. We're all familiar with the manufactured version, and they're beautiful runes. They're lovely runes in and of themselves. Blum's runes. I can't even find my rune book. Not sure where it is. But I love the runes. They're just so magical and ancient, and they really speak to me. And I've always been drawn to the runes ever since I was a very young adult, since I was a teenager, probably since at least 1988, 89. And most recently, I discovered that I actually have a pretty good percentage of Scandinavian ancestry. So, I am a big believer in genetic memory. Because it's interesting, the cultures that have really pulled towards me, have really called me. I've always felt that I had some sort of connection to them. And of course, after my DNA test, it was most definitely confirmed. So those are the manufactured runes I have. These are runes that I made personally last year. These are made from local clay and fired up in a friend's kiln. And let's see. I think this was made by the local art teacher. I was just like, who gave me this bowl? Isn't that gorgeous? I think it was a gift. All right, so here are my runes. I just love that sound. Isn't that a beautiful sound? And I also have some wood runes that I purchased and that are also very gorgeous, but I just wanted to show you those. And if you're really interested in learning the runes, I know a couple of sources, one of which is Thunder Wizard. That's Michael Denny. He was a previous guest on my channel as well. Welcome Vicky, and welcome Sir Tony. So these gorgeous, gorgeous runes, if I do say so myself. So I am really interested in resources and spiritual writings by women. Go figure, by women. Isn't this a beautiful? Oh, I just now noticed. I mean, this book just arrived about 35 minutes ago. And so did the Higher Perspective Oracle cards. Remember Tony Jenkins? I had him as a guest on the channel. So somehow or another, I don't know how it happened that I came across Kari Tauring. Oh, I think I know what it was. I was looking up a certain type of spiritual leader. And somehow I came across Kari Tauring's work. And she's done a lot of work on ancient Scandinavian culture, and especially as it pertains to women. She coined the term vulva stav, which is like a staff carrying woman of the Scandinavian tradition. She was the woman, she's like the oracle, the seer, the oracle. And Kari wrote this book, The Runes. I think it was back in 2007. And then this is an updated version of her book. We'll read the back. What began as the second edition of the popular book, The Runes, A Human Journey, published in 2007, has developed into a work which effectively replaces Tauring's original publication. The Runes, A Deeper Journey, maintains the storytelling quality of its predecessor while delving more deeply into the Norse cosmology and metaphysics, especially as they relate to divination and the use of runes as guides and energetic signposts on life's journey. Let me set that down. I tried to take off my jacket because it's a little bit cumbersome, but it is chilly. It is chilly, so give me one moment. Okay, so here's a little bit about the author. Kari Tauring began studying runes in 1988 as an undergraduate in linguistics. And from the perspective of a Norwegian American looking for her deeper roots. In the decades since, these deep roots have manifest as vulva stav, a mind-body spirit practice using sacred body geometry and toning, runes, staff rhythm, and voice to create physical alignment with the world tree of Norse cosmology. And I think I shared in probably more than one of my videos, one of my most amazing, deep, mystical journeys that I had involved me somehow finding myself. I don't know if I was within the tree of life or if I was the tree of life or exactly what it was, but it was sort of like as if I was the tree of life and I was a part of it and I was inside of it. It was very powerful. It was very, very powerful. And only later after that I discover that it's, very much a part of the fabric of all of us and on shamanic journeying. So let's get back to the reading. Healing personal urlog and teaching others to do the same has been Tauring's passion and life work for over a decade. As an interdisciplinary folk artist, she has produced several Nordic roots music recordings, instructional and performance videos, and an interactive application for learning runes and practicing rune chant. She travels widely in the United States and Scandinavia, teaching, performing, and learning from others who are practicing Scandinavian folk root spiritual traditions, including editor and friend David DeYoung, who now lives with his family in Finland. So here's the cover of the book, a very beautiful book. You might want to check this book out, Vicky. It's really nice. Okay, so we're going to open it up. I like that the paper is not printed on that bright white paper. This book is 2 years old. This is the second edition. The Elder Futhark. So this is Freya's 8. I'm not sure on the pronunciation. Freya's 8. Freya and Freya's 8. Hemdal and Hela's 8. Hela is where we get the term hell from. But of course, it's been sort of adulterated and all of that. Let's see. I guess that's a picture of Kari from 2007. She says, I still use the runes I made for my own buckthorn, using felled trees, honors, and gives them a sacred life. That is beautiful. And this is Tyr and Zisa's 8. Preface by Kari Tauring. The Indo-European, I'm going to just read the first paragraph or so. The Indo-European word rune comes from the Sanskrit word ru, meaning secret conversation or whispered mystery. The pre-Vedic god Rudra was the force of wind and the howling of nature's secret mysteries. Red haired, howling sky god. Runes are the symbols of nature's energies and poetic spells to put humans into deeper relationship with nature entities. The Finno Ugric word runo comes from the same root. Runos are nature magical poems which are sung, as well as the poet magician who sings them. Both runes and runos have a special meter, assonance, and alliteration, and imitate the sounds of nature. The users of runes and runos are considered magicians, healers, and priestesses. As visual symbols, the Elder Futhark of Germanic runes shares characteristics with the Hungarian rune alphabet and the Etruscan rune alphabet and the alphabet of the Phoenicians. I remember a while back when I was preparing, I do I've done it for the last 2 years, and I've just been invited back for the third year in a row to facilitate Hebrew letter, mystical Hebrew letter workshop, mandala workshop in the Kabbalah class at Vassar College. And I remember once I was doing some studying for my workshop, because I'm constantly learning and growing, and I was like, wait a minute, the runes remind me of the Phoenician alphabet, of the very ancient Proto Hebrew alphabet. And so I immediately saw the connection, and then I did some research and found that sure enough, there is a connection. Let's see. A trading company, and the alphabet of Phoenicians, a trading culture whose influence and language ranged from the Middle East to Sweden. I have ancestry from Sweden and Norway, to possibly even Ohio in the USA. The Phoenicians are credited with inventing the phonemic alphabet, the ship's keel, the oar, and a rare, expensive indigo dye. Many scholars believe it was a group related to the Phoenicians who brought sheep, goats, horses, agriculture, and metallurgy north from Iran, instigating the Scandinavian Bronze Age in circa 2000 BCE. The similarities between the scriptural symbol systems may have been partly the results of the constraints of the materials, clay, rock, wood, bone, metal, upon which they were inscribed, but also the shapes tend to echo similar natural landscapes of lakes, rivers, ice, cattle, horses, and trees. The concepts behind the runes arose from cultures that honored herds of cattle, both wild and domestic. Bones and relics have been found dating to 30,000 BC, and public art in France and Spain as old as 16,000 years have been discovered that illustrate these concepts. It is interesting to note that the first letter of all Indo-European languages holds the meaning of ox or cow. Now, of course, when it says that, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of those languages originated in Indo-European culture, but that the Indo-European culture makes use of those languages or the writings. Like, for instance, Hebrew, the Aleph, the letter Aleph, that is connected with the bull, which is an ox or a cow. The runes were also a product of the cultures of the northern continent, which held birch as sacred, And cultures that honor hard work, community, and voluntary reciprocity. The runes tell a story of unity and migration, individuation, and revelation. So we're just going to take a flip through some of the chapters. About the letters, Atir. The 24 runes of the Elder Futhark are generally divided into three sets of 8 runes each. Et means clan or family in Old Norse. Vicky mentions cow is connected to Het Heru. Thank you, Vicky, for that. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. And Het Heru, and who is Het Heru, Vicky? Is that an ancient energy from ancient Kemet in Africa? Because I always get confused. Is Het Heru the same as Hathor? Right, because doesn't Hathor wear the horn with the sun in the middle, the sun disk? Okay, where was I? Et means clan or family in Old Norse. People related by blood, marriage, or adoption oath would sit together in Atir, at the annual gathering called Thing, where legal disputes were settled. Since Et is pronounced 8, and there are 8 runes in each set, folk etymology equates Et with 8. Vicky says, yes, indeed. Het Heru Hathor. While the oldest known, that's interesting. That's interesting. Of course, everything comes from the mother. Everything comes from the mother goddess, Hathor. While the oldest known inscription of the 24 runes on the Kylver stone in Gotland, which is 400 AD, puts them in a long string, there are good reasons to divide them into 3 Atir. Breaking them up makes it easier to memorize and remember them. Adding a head of the household, such as Freya of Frey, for the first 8, helps deepen the meaning and message of the particular clan of runes. Each 8 becomes a story unto itself. What other writers have intuited this and have written their own version of the stories of the 8. And what I like, I'm really, especially because in this lifetime, I've incarnated as a female, as a woman. I'm very much interested in hearing the feminine voice. And I think it's beneficial for all of us, both males and females, both men and women, to really seek to hear the divine feminine. And that is why I'm, really about studying with women, learning from women, and reading the works written by women. It's not because I negate the male principle, but we do live in patriarchal, a masculine driven society. And in order to heal ourselves and to find balance and true harmony and true oneness within the polarity or duality or what have you, is by uplifting the mother, uplifting women's voices. God, I love this cover. Look at this dog leaning against the tree. I would love to have Kari on the channel. Let's see. As mentioned before, the runes are about relationships, a secret conversation, and a listener. They are in relationship to their nature energies and to one another. It is natural to see groups of similarities and relationships that tell different parts of the story of the Northlands. For me, the first 8 is all about the balance between the landed farmer and the ranging herder, the giants and the gods, knowing and experiencing, relationships and joy. The second 8 describes the world tree from the roots and fire and ice to the middle, farm earth, to the sun that tops the tree. The third act contains the names of God and goddesses, pairings, and divine gifts to humanity, and the inheritance of these gifts and their responsibilities. I encourage you to read and explore for yourself the lessons of the Ektir. Finally, the Ektir set up a numerological system within the alphabetic system that was used in communication and esoteric work. In one system, the first numbers indicates the act, and the second number is the letter within the act, 1 to 3. In Thurisaz, 2 to 1, and Hagalaz, and 3 to 5 is Laguz. There are other applications which can be made by those of esoteric interest in numerology. So Freya and Freyr's act. There's a hugging gebo. Looks like two trees that sort of came together in a natural gebo state. So it looks like she goes through each letter and gives some information behind the letters, starting with Fehu, domesticated cow and other animals, landed wealth, gold. The first rune in the alphabet, the shape of Fehu, begins with Issa, the straight line, Ice, the rune of slow growth and contemplation. Then come two lines looking up to the right like a modern day F, with the lines raised upwards instead of extending perpendicularly. It reminds me of cow's horns looking up at the sky. And she goes through each and every letter here, giving some really good information. If you are at all interested in the runes, definitely check out this book. Let's see, what's this in the back of the book? Oh, there's a glossary, a wonderful glossary. Information on reading the runes. And you can also check out the author's website, which is karitauring.com. She's got videos on there and a wonderful blog. So check her out. Make your own runes. Never cut off a branch of a tree in order to make a rune. That would be a disgrace to the mother. But find your branches on the ground, driftwood, and create your own runes. You can also check out Queen Mother Amaku. I've had her as a guest on the website. I'm sorry, on the channel, and she's done some research in the runes and also connecting them with ancient Kemet. And, you know, we just look at it like this. This entire earth, we are all somehow connected to each other. You know, I'm not saying that we were once all one singular people, but I believe that all cultures have, you know, come out of the heart of the motherland, out of the heart of ancient Kemet, and her culture and knowledge and wisdom has spread all over the earth, whether it's in the great Northlands or, you know, the southernmost regions of the world. We all have this singular thread that binds us all together on this particular planet. And again, these are my own personal runes that I made last year. And these are my manufactured runes that come in the bloom. I can't remember his first name. Blum, B-L-U-M, The Book of Runes, most readily available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. On some of them, especially the older versions, you could actually see the fingerprint. I don't think so much on these, but you could actually see the fingerprint from the mold that was originally made by Blum. So anyway, check out The Runes, A Deeper Study. Check out Kari's website. She has a PDF on there on the vulva stav, which is the women's staff carrier. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the chat room. Vicky says, I have my own staff. A piece of wood showed up on my path. It told me I am your staff, so I crafted it. Give it to my mother for protection. Oh, that is beautiful, Vicky. Thanks for sharing that. Well, this was a candle that was burning. I did a meditation earlier. The candle's all burned out, and then that's the incense. Oswald said this looks like his butter dish. Welcome, Love Magic. Welcome. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. And check out my earlier video that I did an unboxing on Higher Perspective Oracle. And hopefully soon we'll have Terry Jenkins back on to do some readings from his oracle. And perhaps one day we'll get to have Kari Tauring on. But if not, enjoy her book. Enjoy this perspective. For those of you, if you love runes, whether you're have some Scandinavian ancestry or not, enjoy your runes. All of these ancient technologies, when you properly learn them, do your meditations, connect with the energy, it's all bringing honor to the ancestors. So you guys have a great day. Stay well. I wish you peace and great bliss. And I will see you later because I have a couple of more books that I want to, do a flip through of. And hopefully tomorrow I will have a Tao reading in the morning. Tomorrow is going to be a pretty busy day for me. But I wish you peace and Tamuagina, Priestess Heart, much love and thank you.